Well, welcome to Planet Ford. My name's Harrison. Today behind me is this beautiful Mustang Mach-E. I'd love to go over kind of all the specs with you. So why don't we come along? Starting at the front here, you can see it is an electric vehicle, so we actually don't have a grille here. We don't have to worry about air coming in and things like that quite as much. Below here are some active grille shutters. They do open for air conditioning and stuff like that, but as far as the engine, there isn't an engine, so we don't have to worry about cooling it. All of this is just designed to make it look like that Mustang that we've grown accustomed to, the Mustang that we love. Up here for the headlights, one of my favorite parts of this car, there's an LED turn signal that comes the whole way, and then low beams and high beams, so it looks really sharp at night. Coming out from there, we do get our parking sensors on the bottom here, and our 360-degree camera on the front. So lots of technology packed into this car. With EVs, that is one thing that's always true. Technology, technology, technology. And then I'll show you the front as well, because there's no engine, so you got a front here. You can see that you have just an absolute ton of space in here. There's two sections here. You can set a water bottle, and it is sealed, so you can completely ensure that things are safe with this big sealant here. And that beautiful Mustang badge right there again, reminding us this is a Mustang. All right, so moving on to the side of the vehicle, you can see it's a beautiful streamlined shape. Starting with the rims here, everything is absolutely aerodynamic when it comes to electric vehicles. We want to make sure that you're getting the best possible range. This one here gets 488 kilometers of range. But moving here, the rims, the way that they're designed, the way that they're shaped, they actually carry air the best way possible. If you look at a gas rim versus an electric rim, this keeps the air moving, it keeps the air flowing on these beautiful 19-inch rims. Coming along the side here, you can see the way that the body is shaped and grooved. The air is just streamlining through, and you'll actually notice when you look at the door handles you might think are missing. They're not. We use an E-latch system. So when you go ahead and you press this button here, the door actually pop open for you. You can open it up just like that, close it just like such, and it's all taken care of without a traditional handle. That keeps things a little more aerodynamic, a little bit more streamlined. Now this vehicle here behind me is an all-wheel drive version of the Mach-E with the extended range. That's all noted here on the badge. You can get these rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, standard range, or extended range, so lots of options there. All right, so coming around to the back of the vehicle, we have this beautiful sport shape. It really slopes down, once again, aerodynamics and everything like that, but it does give you that super aggressive, sporty look. 3 taillights on the back, which we've come to know and love on the Mustangs to indicate the turn signal when they do the flutter. Mustang badge here, and then the best part of all, a power tailgate, so you don't have to worry about anything there. I love the way that they designed this, the rear cover, just to help keep everything aligned, so you don't have to worry about what's in the back. Lots of privacy there, and it does actually tuck up quite nicely, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. Press of the button and it comes right down. If you do have a garage that you're worried about things, worried about it when it comes up too high, you can actually set it to the exact height that you'd like it to. Super simple, all of that stuff. All right, and then obviously this being an electric vehicle, you're gonna ask, how do I charge it? So with the press of a button, you open this charging station here, and you can actually plug right in here directly. There's a charging indicator light here that'll show you the percentage of battery. At home, this would charge about 45 kilometers per hour. And then on the road, if you go to a public charging station, you can actually get 15 to 80% in just an hour. So how incredible is that? Hour, 45 minutes, more than enough battery to go where you need to go. So this thing's packed full of power, packed full of battery, and I'm sure we'll want to get inside of it. So let's come on into the back seat. There's actually a ton of space in the Mustang Mach-E. You can comfortably seat adults in the back, not anything to worry about whatsoever. It does have the B&O sound system, and everything just has that premium touch, but you can see lots of headroom. I'm completely comfortable. I can actually even just slide right on over. Because it's an electric vehicle, we're not worried about the transmission here. It's housed, there isn't one to house, so we get tons of space, but you can see I'm super comfortable. Everything has a super premium feel inside here. Lots of legroom. I actually adjusted the seat already to the way I would position it in the front, and me being about 6 feet tall, lots of room, lots of room. Also, you get this beautiful panoramic moonroof, just one piece of fixed glass, absolutely incredible. And everything back here is super premium to the touch. I love the way they did the speaker grill here. It's kind of like a fabric insert on top, and it just looks and everything meshes together so well. Okay, so moving on to the inside, you can see there's a lot going on here. Obviously a massive screen, which I absolutely love, but we're inside the car, we got to turn it on. So let's turn it on. You can see everything's gonna light up. We have this beautiful dash here. It's nice and sleek, it's very slim, but it gives you everything that you need to know. You can see which gear you're in, you can see your percent of charge, your range, as well as your speed, everything right there, super easy. But right here, we have everything. We have built-in GPS. You can also use Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, all wirelessly, which is amazing. And you're thinking everything's, but this is actually a dial here, so you can turn. It's naturally set to a volume knob, but if you want to play around with the AC, anything like that, it all of a sudden becomes a control for that as well. So super cool there. You want to adjust the blow. I'll keep it down to make sure our audio is good, but lots of things to play with here, even where you want the climate control to be. Everything is just housed in this screen, and they did a great job doing that. Kind of on the steering wheel here, that's obviously the bread and butter for when you're driving, everything like that. So here we have our cruise control settings. So it does have adaptive cruise control and is Blue Cruise equipped. So you'll see this little sensor here. That's to make sure that you're alert when driving hands-free. And then this beautiful Mustang logo, absolutely love it. On the side here, we have our menu settings. So you can do your next song, all those things, your Bluetooth commands, hang up your call, volume up or down, those things that you just need on the steering wheel. Over here, you do have your wiper control, your turn signal, of course, and your memory seats, which you definitely need if you have more than one driver driving it. This little compartment here, your center console, is actually super cool. So if you close it, you have a little bit of closed section here, but if you open it, it's actually, you can get in quite deep, and then just a little cover for the armrest. You can leave that open or closed. Here you have a wireless phone charger, which is definitely something that we all need in today's world. Always running around, phones out of juice, need that for sure. And these beautiful premium leather seats inside are just absolutely amazing. And then of course, as I mentioned before, tons of technology. So if we click this camera here, you can see a full 360-degree view up here with sensors, as well as right now it's showing our front camera. If I go ahead and put it in reverse, it'll flip to our backup camera. You can see that it's actually shows you where we're gonna head, where we're gonna go. And this center dot line is to help you line everything up, so you don't have to worry about being out of line or out of sync, and it completely flows to exactly where you're going. So this vehicle is obviously loaded with a ton of safety features. We have your pre-collision assist warning, where it'll actually sense that a vehicle is approaching us, and it'll prime the brake for us, so that if we touch the brake, it's ready to brake, it's ready to do that. It'll do a cross traffic alert system. All this is completely encompassed in here. So if we go to settings, we can do driver assistance, and it'll view a ton of safety features for you. Reverse brake assist, if you're backing up and the car's worried that you're going to hit something, it'll stop. If it senses someone coming across, it'll warn us about that. We also have a lane keeping system, so you can have the vehicle kind of hold you in your lane, hold you in the center of your lane, of course, as well, with the adaptive cruise control on. So just a ton of features here that really help to keep you safe, keep your family safe, and I think that's what's most important in a vehicle like this. So this being an electric vehicle, you're obviously going to have the question of how much range are we talking here? What kind of range do we get? So this vehicle that we're sitting in right now, this is an extended range premium. So this does get a range of 488 kilometers with a full charge. So lots to get you where you need to go. However, there is one more vehicle that does have up to 502 kilometers of range, which is absolutely everything that you could want out of an electric vehicle. So tons of range, you don't have to worry about charging every day, that kind of thing. This is more than enough for the driving that we do. Definitely when it comes to a vehicle like this, the most important thing is driving it, feeling what it feels like to drive, the way it accelerates, the way it brakes, everything like that is really what makes a vehicle a vehicle. I mean, we drive our cars an hour, 2 hours, sometimes more a day. And I think it's most important to feel how you feel in the seats. These seats, I mean, the way that they hug me, I absolutely love. And the way I'm seated here is quite comfortably. The leather wrapped steering wheel is really great. But when it comes to an EV, it's really the way it drives, and having all that torque available to you at all times is something that I just have grown to love when it comes to the the electric vehicles, especially the Mach-E. I know between our lineup with Mach-E and Lightning, they're just an absolute thrill to drive, and we do have some different options with them. So you can see here on the screen, there's a whisper mode, an engaged mode, and an unbridled mode. And really what those are is eco, normal, and sport mode, if you want to simplify it. So if we drive in whisper mode, it'll be a little bit more conservative, help you get a little bit more range. Engaged is something that's a little bit more fun, a little bit more good for everyday kind of driving, if you have friends in the car, that kind of thing. And then unbridled is just complete powerhouse, all the torque, all the time, all the fun, everything that you could hope for in a vehicle like this. And really it is a toy, it is a Mustang, it is a lot of fun, and it does want to be driven like that, which is really important. Moving down here, you can see a few other settings here as well. One pedal drive. So what one pedal drive does is it'll actually start braking without you actually pressing the brake. So now the accelerator pedal is really off of it, is fully stopped, all the way on is fully going, and somewhere in between, you'll get used to it, is where we actually start to slow down. So it's definitely one that you kind of get used to over time, but on a test drive or something like that, I always say, let's not worry about that. That's something to play around with. Once you have experience with the car, once you kind of know everything about it, take care of everything that way. The other thing that's a lot of fun is the propulsion sound. I think it sounds pretty good. It kind of simulates a sound pumped into the cabin like an engine, just so you can tell that you're going a little bit more. It doesn't sound like a fake sports car, a fake V8 or anything like that. It sounds like it should. It just is a little bit more than listening to just wind noise, and a lot of fun. So lots to play around with the different actions here. I love the way things feel in the Mach-E. Everything feels nice and close. I've always been driving sedans and SUVs, and I feel right at home in this. It doesn't feel big, it doesn't feel bulky. It's something that everyone can drive and have a lot of fun with. I always get a lot of questions about what is it like switching from a gas vehicle to an electric vehicle, a hybrid to an electric vehicle. How do I do this? How do I charge it if I'm not home? All those things, and really Ford's made it super simple for us. So I know we've grown accustomed and we love our Google Maps, our Android, our Apple Maps, whatever it is, but the built-in Ford nav is actually really great, and it's especially great for electric vehicles. So if you ever punch in a location that you want to go, let's say you're driving to Montreal and you know you're going to be driving more than the battery allows you to drive, well, great news, the GPS is going to take care of everything for you. So when you plug in your route, it'll tell you to drive 4 hours, and then you're going to stop at a charging station. It'll calculate the charge times, and the great thing about these charging stations is they're near rest stops, convenience stores, that kind of thing, the places you'd already want to stop. And as I mentioned earlier, you can get 15% to 80% charge in 45 minutes. So it'll actually work really intelligently to allow you to get the charge that you need in a time that's convenient for you, right? If we're doing a drive to Montreal, a stop for 45 minutes, that's not too bad. It could even end up being shorter depending on where you're stopping, how long you're stopping for, the total distance, because it'll even ask you, do you want to ride with 0% battery? Do you want to ride with a little bit more? So it takes a lot of the thinking away from you, and you can just drive like we've all grown accustomed to, which is really great. So when it comes to an electric vehicle, I know there's all these different things. This thing looks absolutely incredible, feels so luxurious, and you're gonna think it's gonna cost a lot. And the truth of the matter is, we're paying a lot for our older gas vehicles. We're paying gas, we're paying fuel, we're paying insurance, we're paying all these different fees, and really now we can just break that down into a few separate categories. So one, when it comes to gas, well, we don't have to pay for gas. We're gonna charge it at home, we're gonna charge it on the road, and really when we price that out, it looks like you're gonna be spending about the average driver probably between $500 and $700 a year in electric fees, which I mean is definitely less than what we spend in gas. And so when we group our payments together, a payment on an electric vehicle versus a payment on a gas vehicle with gas costs, with electric costs built into it, you're actually about the same, if not cheaper, on the electric vehicle. And the great news is the more you drive, the cheaper the electric vehicle actually becomes. So for some of our high mileage drivers, they might think, oh, I'm worried about range, I'm worried about all these different things. Well, if you set up charging in your home, if you know where stations are en route to work or something like that, you're able to kind of maximize that, and it allows you to maximize your savings as well, because now you're going to take advantage of the range of the battery, you're going to take advantage of the fuel savings with the electric vehicle. So in my opinion, worst case scenario, it's break even, but I think it's even better than that, just looking at payment cost and then fuel or electric costs. But there's actually a third component that I think really helps when it comes to the electric vehicles, and there's so much technology in these vehicles that do help with accidents, that do help with all these different things, and insurance companies can actually see that and understand that. And so when they look at these vehicles, they know that they are safer than the vehicles that we're driving before. And oftentimes customers do let me know that their insurance actually went down going to an electric vehicle, which I think is a great thing to look at as well. On these vehicles, it's actually really cool with the propulsion sound. I know I was mentioning it earlier. So this is with the propulsion sound off. You can hear really it's just wind noise, just tire noise, that kind of thing. But if I go ahead and turn it on and I slow down a little bit and then I speed up again, you'll actually hear that kind of low end rumble a little bit. It just adds a little bit of noise to the car, makes it feel a little bit more of a spirited driving experience. I know that's what our Mustang customers have grown to love, and moving into something a little bit more practical of an SUV and now an EV, it's something fun to kind of carry on. So definitely something to come out and see for yourself and play around with it. Like I said, this is a vehicle that you truly cannot buy without driving it, because the drive is what I love the most about it. It looks amazing, it feels amazing, everything's premium, everything's polished, but the drive, for me, is what truly makes this car special. All right, well, thanks so much for watching our Mustang Mach-E Walkaround. I hope you enjoyed it. Come in store, test drive one for yourself, take a look at it, because we got a ton in stock and we'd love to help you out.